Well, it seems another strike is looming in our tertiary institutions. How can the federal government and ASUU, I mean, both of them, avert the strike? Can there be a compromise, a meeting ground on both sides in the interest of the students as well as the nation, of course? Let's have this conversation with Professor Chris Piwuna. He's the national president of ASUU. Glad to have you join me tonight on
Good evening.
Newsnight. Welcome. Yeah, you are very. When I was watching you talk there, you were so convinced of what you were saying about total comprehensive. One wonders really, why is this seemingly intractable? It takes two sides to tango. Why does government and ASUU never get to a meeting point where they disagree to agree rather than disagree to disagree?
Well, thank you very much. And we'll continue as a union to thank the press for always giving us an opportunity to discuss these issues, to get our perspectives on it. Why is it impossible? Why has it become intractable? Why is it that we can't find a common ground? You cannot find a common ground when you have a partner who has sworn to be infidel, to be not, who has sworn not to show fidelity to the marriage. You cannot find a common ground when you have a partner that constantly betrays you. You cannot find a common ground when you are dealing with an individual that acts with such dubiety that you wonder whether you live on the same earth. People that will look at you and tell you they're doing what you think both of you have agreed to, and yet they are doing the exact opposite of what they are telling you. We started this journey long before now. We have dealt with different governments, different ministers. Sometimes some of the things they say to us would make you wonder, is this person different? Is he willing to do something differently? This government of President Tinubu set up the Yaya Ahmed Committee. It was not set up by any other government. It was this government that set up this committee. We have met with this committee. We have discussed these issues with the committee in a collective bargaining arrangement. We came with different perspectives to the committee. We had our own as ASUU. They had theirs as representatives of government. But we found common ground. We agreed on a lot of things. There are 4 main subheads in this agreement: conditions of service, sustainable funding for public universities, university academic freedom and autonomy, and other issues. The other issues are things about governance, annual leave, the paternity leave, all those sort of things.
Salaries are not included?
That's the conditions of service.
Okay.
That's the first one, the condition of service. We agreed with Alhaji Yaya Ahmed, not totally, but his committee closed the gap, and we agreed on a lot of issues. With government committee, we send the report to government together. Say, okay, we've agreed on this, we've agreed on this, we have different perspectives on it. We send the report to the committee. We send this committee report to the Minister of Education December 2024. Last year. He said he didn't see the report until February this year. It probably got missing in his office, and they looked for it and they found it after about 3 months. He never acted on that committee report from February until we threatened a strike around August. Then they said they were going to give us a report. Remember when he famously came out and said there was no agreement with the federal government? 28th of August, he said they were setting up a committee to look at the report that the Yahya Ahmed Committee gave to government, only for the Minister of Education to bring out to us things that are totally alien to what was in that agreement. I have a document here, which is the salary section that he gave to us. This document, as I'm holding it, it has no semblance whatsoever to what we gave Yahya Ahmed, what we agreed with Alhaji Yahya Ahmed. Rather than use the Nimi Briggs report to give us that we agreed was the benchmark for what we were going to do, he sat down and decided that he was going to add 25% increase to our salaries, to our current salaries. 25%. So every academic staff now, just think about how much you are earning. Get 25% of it. That's all government is going to give you before tax. So this is there. On other issues that we had discussed with government, we have never seen this kind of report before. A document that had been agreed to by both sides. The government sat down and gave us a report or a document that looked like a white paper. We accept, we decline, we accept, we decline, noted. That's not what is supposed to come back to us. I'll give you one example. The group insurance, life insurance. Remember this group insurance, life insurance for us in this country, public servants. There was a time the Auditor General referred to the group life insurance as a fraudulent, as fraud against the death or something, where people just keep taking out of the money that is meant for dead colleagues. This group life insurance is enjoyed by staff of the Federal Ministry of Health, Education. It's enjoyed by other federal parastatals in this country. Why this minister decided to remove us from it? Because when our members...
and it was not in the original agreement.
No.
Now the federal government... Okay, let's... in June, ASUU declared a no work, no pay against the government. Now the government is what I call retaliating, as it were. They're saying also will implement the no work, no pay policy against ASUU. And government is saying you are not cooperating. That's what they are saying.
You know, this no work, no pay thing is a joke. It's a joke. This minister has threatened us many times. This minister, Dr. Tunji Alausa, he has threatened us many times. He's going to do this, he's going to do that. Now he's saying no work, no pay. We wish him luck. But we have traveled that road before. We have traveled the route of no work, no pay before. It is very painful, very torturous, very hard, excruciating. But Dr. Alausa, we are ready to go that path again. We are ready to take that path again.
What will government...
Hold on, sir, hold on. If you are going to give us just 25% increase on what we are earning now, and because of the fear of no work, no pay, we accept what you are giving us, then we are not worth anything in this country as intellectuals.
Let me even ask you, there was a time the federal government, I remember, if I'm wrong, you correct me, they released 50 billion to ASUU. That didn't go a long way to, making ASUU to soft pedal and stop this incessant strikes that, of course, affects our students and the nation as a whole.
There are two things about that 50 billion. There's 150 billion that is meant for revitalization of public universities.
Okay.
I really wonder how a minister or any government will come out and tout the release of 50 billion naira
for 193 universities. 193 universities. They are saying their achievement is that they have released 50 billion naira for 193 universities. Money that they can steal in one night. And that is what is meant for 193 universities. I think it's a shame. No government should not say such things. Okay, just release it. Let's see where it stops, how many universities get it, and see how much we can, not to go in the media and say we have released 50 billion naira for 193 state and federal universities. 50 billion naira. And then the other 50 billion naira of our EA that they released. We don't want strike. We realized there were issues that will constantly cause us to go on strike. So we decided that we are going to start exiting those items. So we said, look, each time we come, we say EA and academic allowance, there is this arrears, 100 billion, 170 billion. We said, no, let's exit it. Excuse government. We are ready to sacrifice 50% of what government we are owing government. Our earned pay, about 103 billion. We are going to sacrifice half of it. Give us half and forget about EAA. But subsequently mainstream it in our salaries going forward. But this arrears, so we don't keep fighting and going on strike, we are letting it go. They gave us 50 billion. And when they gave us the 50 billion, they had agreed with other unions to give them their own. But they decided when they gave us, and the other union said, "Sue, we also have an agreement with you, release our own money." They decided to take from our own to give the unions 20%. So they gave us 40 billion. We still didn't argue. We didn't fight. We didn't go on strike. We didn't even write a letter of protest to the Minister of Education over it. So now that he's telling us, after all of this, that if we stay away from work, no pay, gather all our money and give Dr. Alausa to go with it. We don't care. We are going to embark. We've embarked on this action. There is no going back on this action. And we are calling on them to address the issues that are still outstanding, because there's no going back.
Well, that's a very, very strong statement there. How do you reconcile, Prof, how do you reconcile the plight of the students? I mean, okay, the Sokoto chairman, Sabi, was saying that the lecturers are leaving both for abroad and then for private universities, and that means our public institutions, our tertiary institutions are suffering, and the students are getting the brunt of it. How do you reconcile the strike, industrial action by ASUU, and then this back and forth with the government? Do you really think about the students?
We do. We think about the students, and it is one of the most painful things for us as their surrogate parents, as their teachers, as people that they relate with, they rely on, they trust all the time when they are under our care in school. Some of them, I don't know what is happening across the country, but some of them may be about to write exams tomorrow. In fact, some of them are. I know even in the university where I teach, they've even started their exams. And this is going to affect the continuation of the exams. It's a very tough thing, and it's a very sad thing. And honestly, we regret that our students are going through this. Believe me, we regret that our students are going through this. But unfortunately, it is strike that has caused government to build more hostels. It is strike that has caused government to refurbish our laboratories. It is strike that has brought more reagents into the lab. It is strike
that has improved lecture halls. It is strike.
So you're saying the only thing that the only language government understands is strike?
That is the case to a certain extent. If government had just paid attention and focused on the collective agreement that was reached, maybe a draft agreement that was reached, and worked within it, it would have averted what we're going through.
Let me just ask you this, let you go because we don't have time. What particularly did government say, if according to you that Yaela agreement was reached, what particularly did they say? Why they did not want to implement it? What was their main, what did they really say?
They didn't say anything meaningful. They don't appear to appreciate what collective bargaining is. As I was saying in that press conference, you know, when it comes to treaties and conventions that the federal government signs with World Bank, with IMF, with DFID and all of that, they are very religious in following it. But any convention that serves workers, any convention like the ILO convention that protects the workers, they are always eager to, you know, skip it.
We'll leave it there, Prof. The time is caught up on us. Prof. Chris Piwuna, the national president of ASUU. We're hoping, because I know I did hear you there, that between now and tomorrow, or when it starts, that maybe something will give and this strike won't go on. That's our hope. Thank you for being on the program.
Thank you very much. We really pray that that happens.